Alright, it feels like I'm watching a lot of 3D movies and I'm not complaining. Well, after watching Jurassic World Rebirth. But anyway, Superman 3D. How's the movie? How's the 3D? Let's find out. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Superman 3D. What's it about? Pretty simple premise. Superman, Lex Luthor, battling out, and we have other characters involved. So let's talk about the 3D first. Pop out and depth effects, both of them work extremely well. It blows Jurassic World Rebirth out of the water on every level. I mean, every level. The depth is awesome. The pop-out effects are pretty dang good. There's a good tooth effect. There's good fighting effects that have good depth effects. There's like one or two effects where I was like, oh, where I literally said, okay, that really looks pretty damn good. And also the depth effects with, the Antarcticas, the battle sequences, when we're in this, like, I want to call it a black hole universe, that works really well of all the depth that is in that area, as well as the pop-out effects, like I said, with the fighting, with some of the Green Lantern stuff, with some of the element effects, with Element Man. It just works full-fledged. It's fun. Do it. And I know it's probably going to be harder to watch because it feels like 3D showings are very limited, but if you can, I do highly recommend it as it does bring depth and pop-out to the audience. So the movie itself, I think it's a very formulaic superhero movie, and I think James Gunn did that on purpose with where the DC comic book movies are at and not knowing where they need to go. Are we in the Batman universe? Are we in the Aquaman, Justice League? You have so many different universes, the Suicide Squad 1 or 2, that I think he just said, let's hold up, let's simplify DC and try to push it forward with the new direction of being more lighthearted, more fluffy, more bright, and not the dim and gloom of the Zack Snyder universe. I know a lot of people are going to bring that up. So I'd say the pause of the movie, it does zoom for 2 hours and like 3 minutes. It's pretty breezy. It's fast-paced. It goes through the plot points it's supposed to go to. There's good chemistry between Superman and Lois Lane. I do appreciate that. Battle sequences, they are fun to watch through in and throughout. That I did enjoy that. I know a lot of people were saying Nick Nolte. I always say Nick Hoult. I always say Nick Nolte. It's such an idiot mistake. Nick Hoult people are saying he was miscast as Lex Luthor. I kind of disagree. I really liked what he brought to the table, being that sinister, esque to it. I was like, damn, he has some just bad actors to him. And there's other characters as well, like some of his henchmen, that I do wish they were a little bit explained more. But I understand they're just mostly side characters to what they're actually supposed to do with some of this technology. Because also when thinking about this technology, what Lex Luthor can do, it's almost like baffling where no one's like questioning. It's like the UN ain't questioning this. Because if we're going to really go into these different countries, I would assume that there would at least be something like timeout. Also, where do all these random people go that are in this like black hole prison? And that's where I think the story kind of gets sideswiped, in my opinion. While when you're looking at a superhero movie, sure, battles, bad guy versus good guy, the end is done. But these different subplots and different side characters kind of feel forced or not needed, or why you there. For example, let's talk about the prison scene and about why all these people are there because Lex Luthor just don't like these people. No one's questioning all these people just randomly missing. And it's not just like onesie, twosie, threesie people. No, it is thousands. Thousands. And we're also not going to question monkeys, the monkey bots. Sure. Okay. Like I said, this is where I think James Gunn, he does have a weird style of humor. If you watch any of his other movies with like Super, Slither, or his kind of his like lower budget before, the Marvels and everything came like that. The Suicide Squad. So I understand that's his brand of humor, but putting into this one, it is more lighthearted than Guardian of the Galaxy. It's way more lighthearted than Suicide Squad and like Peacemaker, but I didn't laugh at all. None of the jokes stuck with me. None of the jokes were funny to me. I know it's supposed to be like quick, campy stuff, but it just felt dorky and very out of place for a movie like this. And same with some of the score and or soundtrack. Some people might find it forced. Sure, it was kind of forced what they're trying to do. And the song, the main pop punk song they put in this movie, it did feel Garden of the Galaxy-esque, especially with the third one, the very long hallway scene with the Beastie Boys or Rage Against the Machine. I'm not saying I think it's Beastie Boys, but this felt very formulaic to that extent where you're like, oh, I see that you liked probably how you filmed that in Garden of the Galaxies, and you're going to just kind of rinse, wash, repeat into Superman, which is fine, but I think it was too much of a copy and paste where I was like, okay, sure, if you want to go that route. Crypto the dog, I understand it's supposed to be for comic relief, but at that point, it did get annoying of the disobedience of the dog, and they did kind of bring up why with a kind of a cameo of where the movie is going to go or the DC universe is going to go, and that was not funny. I mean, that character just seems super freaking annoying where I'm like, is this the route we were going to take this DC, this campy, dorky, immature route? I'm not feeling it to an extent, because if we're going to put this and then Robert Pattinson's Batman into this, I understand that, Superman and Batman are completely different characters, different tones, but this big of tonal shifts, I am a little bit concerned of where this movie is going to go. And I think that's the biggest fault for me, is where the DC universe is going to go, because I still don't know if they have a framework or tone they want to push this forward to. And like I said, the humor didn't land for me with this one. I didn't laugh once. It was fine. It was just a very formulaic superhero movie through and throughout. And yeah, that's what I'll say about it. Now you could talk about politics. Is there politics in this movie? There's only one line with, I believe, Sean Gunn. He does do a line at the very end about Lex Luthor, about coming together. It's more of a TV screen thing, which is fine. But I think it's, the promotion, which is kind of like eye-raising, where they're like, Superman is an immigrant. And I understand that they're trying to do that now because Trump is president and what is going on. The funny thing is, they still don't understand the difference between, like, illegal immigrants and immigrants, where people have waited in line for 5 to 7 years to do the right paperwork to try to become citizens. They take the test, etc., etc. And it's not just an American thing. Mexico, Japan, trying to get citizenships to these countries is a elongated, ridiculous process. You can ask PewDiePie for Japan. Same thing with here. So I think when people say immigrants, they are very conflicting between illegal, legal, assimilation, not assimilating into society. You'll get Dearborn, Michigan. They're not doing it. Probably a lot of people in LA, like 40% of the population doesn't speak English or something in LA. That's a problem. So you can't really force Superman and immigration, in my opinion. Speaking on that route, because there is a side plot with like the Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, Element Man, and Hawk Girl, which did feel forced, especially at the very end, because at the very end there's two conflicts with this border crisis in a made-up country, as well as the United States kind of splitting in half. I understand they're trying to do two things, but the country thing, it felt so quick and forced, and I was like, I kind of want more of that. I want to know what different things Element Man can do. Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, because Mr. Terrific was more helping Superman and Lois Lane in this other battle. Which I understand you want to do that, but I felt like we should have contained it to one or the other, or at least flesh out the country one 5 minutes more, even 3 minutes more, I think would have made the story a little bit more cohesive and better. So overall, Superman 3D, the 3D does, for me, boost this up drastically because it was that good. I mean, it's How to Train Your Dragon, fantastic. Don't even compare this to Jurassic World Rebirth. Some people are saying it was good. Comparing Superman to Dragon World Rebirth is night and freaking day. But the movie itself, it's formulaic, it's simple, it goes down. Is there a rish, wash, and repeat from Suicide Squad and a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Absolutely. And Is it better than any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Absolutely not, because I felt the emotion, humor, and the bantering that really worked in this one. This one, they try to do the emotional aspect with the parents at the end, which it kind of worked, but it did not connect with like Kurt Russell, Chris Pratt, or even Rocky Raccoon from the last one. It didn't have that emotional damage, if you want to put it that way. So Superman 3D will receive a 3.5 out of 5 of Futons, which equals at 70%. And I'm going to this with a normie route because I've never read a single comic book movie with Superman. I'm going it by what the movie does. It's simple. It is way better than... Okay, look at the comic book movies that came out this year. 1,000,000 times better than Captain America. 1,000,000 times better than that. What other superhero movie came out? Was there one in February, if not mistaken? No, Kraven was December. Is this the only one? I can't remember. Anyway, if it is, it's Superman over Captain America. Yeah. So let's see the critics and user scores gave this one. So we have critics with a 90 or 93 is the audience, 82 with the critics. Critic consensus, pulling off the heroic feat of fleshing out a dynamic new world while putting its champions big, beating heart in front and center. I said that wrong, didn't I? This Superman flies high as a man of tomorrow, grounded in the here and now. Sure, a little dorky, but yeah, it's serviceable, and I'd watch this over Jurassic World Rebirth for sure. 93, 82, 70. Chase Glock here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't think it's Blue Futontopia. You Blue Futonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I don't care if you watch this today, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And did you see some 3D? Let me know if you liked it.